Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm talking quietly because I'm standing in the hallway, or the outside hallway, here at Saratoga Springs. We are here at Disney World. We got here this evening. My kids are all sound asleep, thankfully, because we got in late. We had a long, long day. We got up early this morning. We drove down to Cincinnati to catch our flight out of Cincinnati to come down here, and we are going to be here. We have 10 days to hang out around here, and so 12 days gone with travel time today and our trip day home. So it's a long trip. We're here, but we're super excited, and I wanted to come live. I know some of you guys who have been hanging around me for a little while know my story and know, sort of where this passion for Disney comes from. But many of you don't, and you've seen us come to Disney. This is our third trip this year, and you've seen us come to Disney, and you've seen, you've seen us talk about it, and I've been showing the pictures from this past year. But you really don't understand it, and especially people are asking, like, really, you're going to Disney Christmas to New Year's by yourself without me? So the three kids, like, are you crazy? Are you nuts? And yeah, my answer is probably yes, I am pretty nuts. And tonight, after we got here and everybody was so exhausted and the kids were already sniping at each other, and I'm going, oh gosh, do I regret this? But the truth is, I don't regret it, even if they do get snarly and snipey and whatever, because it's crowded and whatever, we're all off our games. But it's so worth it. And I wanted to come on and share with you really why and where this is coming from, and why we do this, or why I do this, and why it's so important, and what you can learn from it, and what you can do. I mean, Disney may not be your thing, but everybody should find their thing. Everybody should find, their passion of what lights them up, and, what is one of those things that you do it because you can. And that's sort of how Disney has become this year for us. I don't know after this year, after our annual passes are up, whether we'll renew our annual passes again. That the kids are already, petitioning for that. I don't know what next year will bring, but this year has been an amazing year, and it's been really eye-opening for me and for the kids and for all of us, because this was something that was created by creating a vision, by creating a goal, by creating a dream. So for those of you who haven't been following me through my whole journey the last few years, let me, sort of backtrack for you. So 4 years ago this time, things in my life were beyond bad. I was, 75. I was, gaining weight very quickly. I had lost a whole lot of weight, doing some crazy thing with my doctor and a trainer and everything else. I had lost a whole lot of weight. I had hit a plateau about 4.5 years ago, and then over the course of about 6 months, that weight was just not just creeping back on, but barreling back on. And that's what happens when you do a diet. Diets don't work. The weight comes back on. Not always as quickly as it came on for me, but it came barreling back on. And about this time, 4 years ago, I was feeling miserable. I had put all this weight back on, and it was, the end was not in sight. It was going the wrong direction. It didn't matter what I did, how much I ate, what I didn't eat, how much I exercised. If I didn't exercise, none of that mattered anymore. And it was really just a really bad time. But along with that, financially, our family was in a terrible, terrible place. We were really, really struggling. And I was miserable. I was depressed, and I just didn't see a way out of the misery that we were in at the time. And it was just really a bad place. And 4 years ago, April, so it's coming up on 4 years ago, we had promised our kids, probably about 4.5 years ago from now, the previous April, so April 2016, so April 2015, we had promised our kids a trip to Disney. We were all coming down to Orlando, our whole family, my husband's whole family, all of us, we were coming down here for Passover, and we had promised them we would take them to Disney. And so this was December of 2015, and we were looking at it going, we can't afford this trip. There's no way we can do this. We can't afford this. We didn't know how we were going to swing it. But the kids, we had promised them 6 months earlier, and we couldn't break this promise to them. I mean, they didn't understand. They didn't understand what the finances were. They didn't understand what any of that meant. And like I said, so financially we were in a really bad place. Physically and emotionally, I was in a really bad place, and I was just sort of spiraling out of control. And that year, Hanukkah, so tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. That year for Hanukkah, we got them things that I should never have spent the money on. I was charging things to credit cards I should not have been charging to. And it was really sort of a stretch. Ooh, our luggage is here. That's my luggage. You can go on, and the kids are sleeping, but you can go on in there and just drop it in. So it was, Hanukkah that year was a terrible stretch, and it was just a bad, it was bad that year. And again, we had this trip that we were planning, that we were coming up on, and we really, all of it, we shouldn't have been doing any of it. But how can you not give your kids a Hanukkah? How can, or if you celebrate Christmas, how can you not give your kids some sort of Christmas? How can you not do that? Especially, my kids saw all their friends getting all this stuff. And we did. I pulled it off, and like I said, I put that all on credit cards that I should never, ever have done. And we were not in a good place. And flash forward, several months, a few months later, March of 2016, I finally made a decision that, well, it was actually February of 2016, my birthday, February 22nd, 2016, I made a decision that enough was enough. I was done. I was done living the way that I was living. Something had to change. We were looking at me going back to work, though I really didn't want to go back to work. I loved being a stay-at-home mom. We were looking at all these different things, but I knew that the first thing that had to start, the first thing that had to happen was I had to get myself, mentally and physically, I had to get myself, pull it in. I had to make a major change. And I knew that had to happen. And so that was, thank you so much, have a great night. So that was the first place I started. And that was when I went on program and went on to went on to lose 75 pounds. It took me 7 months to lose 75 pounds. But April 2016, that trip that we were coming here to Disney, we had no right to be coming here. We had no money to do it. But again, we had promised these kids that we were going to do it. By that point, I was down 20 pounds in my journey. Weight loss wise, and I was already starting to feel a little bit better, but financially we were still a complete mess. And again, we borrowed money from my in-laws, which we had no right to borrow to come here. We were putting it on credit cards that we had no right to put on to bring them here to Disney. And we were here, and we have pictures, and there are pictures of me, we're smiling, but I was miserable. Absolutely miserable on that trip. I didn't like how I felt physically. I didn't like how I felt emotionally. I didn't like the financial burden that all of this was putting on us. It was really, really, really bad. But the thing is, I love Disney. If you guys can't catch that, if you haven't caught that, I love it. I love it here. I loved it here as a kid. I've always loved it. And my dream was always to be able to bring my kids here over and over and over and over again without an issue. And at that time we couldn't. And the truth was, April of 2016, I didn't ever see that as being a possibility. I sort of saw that as that was going to be our last ditch effort, our last trip to Disney, and that we weren't going to be coming back. But I made a decision. I made a decision on that trip. It was right around that same time. That's when I also started coaching. So not only was I losing the weight myself, not only was I working to get myself healthy, but I made the decision that I really wanted to pay it forward, because at that point my life was changing drastically. I was down 20 pounds. I was already starting to feel better. I was already starting to get my energy back and get my confidence back. All the things that changed over the last 3.5 years were really starting in the works, and I had made the decision that I wanted to help other people do the same thing. I really wanted that became my mission in life. But my mission in life, along with that, it was to change our lives, to be able to build the life that I wanted to build, to live the life that we wanted to live, to be able to bring our kids here to Disney and to be able to enjoy it. And that was my dream, not necessarily my husband's dream. He doesn't quite have the same passion for Disney that I have, though he does enjoy it because he enjoys coming with our kids. But last February, we have turned ourselves around. We have pulled ourselves pretty much out of all the debt that we were in. We're still paying off a little bit, but we are in a good spot now. We are pretty much totally out of debt. I've lost the weight. I'm helping other people. I've totally changed our lives. Our financially, everything about our lives has done a complete 180 from where we were 4 years ago, and this time 4 years ago. And last year, February, my birthday last year, February 22nd, 2019, so this past birthday, we were sitting, my husband and I went out to go hear a band playing at, some country band playing at this little bar, and we're sitting there, and the band is on a break, and up on the TV flashes a commercial for Walt Disney World. And I looked up, and tears came to my eyes, and I said to my husband, I want to take the kids. And he was like, what? And I said, I want to take the kids. I want to go for spring break. Spring break's the first week of April. I said, I want to go for spring break. And he said,
I can't go because he and I were going on a cruise that I had earned through my trip, through helping other people get healthy. I had earned a cruise, and he said, we're going to have just gotten back from the cruise. He said, I can't take another week off of work. And I said, but I can. I said, that's the beauty of what I do. I can work from anywhere. I can go. I said, and we can afford this now, and we can do it, and we can do it right. I said, I want to take him. And I said, would you be really upset if I took him by myself, if I went by myself with them? And he thought about it, and he said, well, I'd miss out because, like I said, Disney's not his thing, but he's an amazing father, and he wants to be with his kids as much as he possibly can. He said, well, I really miss seeing it through their eyes this time. He said, but I know how important this is to you, and I really want to do this, so go, take them. So I did. I surprised the kids last April for a trip down here. We told them, they knew we were going to someplace for spring break. They did not know where. They knew that Daddy couldn't come with us because he couldn't take off another week of work. They thought we were going. I'm not sure what they thought. At one point, they thought we were maybe going to Kalahari or Great Wolf Lodge. They thought we might going to visit my sister. They thought we were maybe going to visit my parents. I had no. I just kept saying it's a surprise. And that Sunday morning, the day that we left, I had pulled out a suitcase and I said, okay, guys, and we went on a scavenger hunt for all the things that they had to pack to take with us to go on this trip. And I surprised them with a trip to Disney, and it was so fun. We came down here and we had a blast. The four of us had a blast. And it was such a different trip. It was such a different trip than it had been 4 years earlier, because this time I had paid for it with cash and had no worries about it. This time I was at a healthy weight, in a healthy mindset, in a healthy place, and we were doing it right. We weren't doing it with the burden of, oh my God, I can't afford this. Oh my God, what is this going to do to us? Oh my God, how am I going to dig out from this for the next 6 months, 8 months, a year, however long, because we did this. We did this from a place. I took them from a place of true love and true wanting to be here, and it was such a different trip, and it was so fun, and they loved it, I loved it, and we ended up coming back afterwards. Their plans for last summer got all messed up, and they were supposed to be at sleepaway camp, and that all got messed up. So when that got refunded to us, I said, okay guys, what do you guys want to do? We were supposed to go to camp, you're now not going. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? We have these funds, we can go do something. And all three of them unanimously said, we want to go back to Disney. And so we did, and the whole family came down. We were down here again for 12 days over the summer. I brought them down first, and then Mesa came and met us and was here for the last week. And we had a blast again, because once again, it was such a different experience, because there was no burden of, oh my God, we can't afford this. Even though they didn't understand that when we did it 4 years ago, they didn't understand what was going on, but you could feel the difference, because there was so much stress in our lives and so much angst, and really, every single thing was, can we do this? Can we do this? And this is like, okay, we can do this. And so then, when we were here over the summer, we knew that our nephew was getting ready to get engaged, and the wedding was going to be in Israel, and it was going to be during this time, and we were not going to be able to go. All five of us were not going to go to Israel this time of year. And so I looked at Misa and I said, I'm going to upgrade our passes to annual passes, because basically we've already paid for that anyway, and we're going to come back Christmas to New Year's. And he was like, okay. And the kids, of course, were ecstatic. And you know what? We are so happy to be here. My kids, like I said, they were a little nutty. It was a really, really, really long day today, and they're exhausted, and I have no idea what this week is going to be like. And I may kick myself and say never again Christmas to New Year's time, because, parks hit capacity and it gets wacko here. But the truth is, we're building memories. We're building a life that 4 years ago I desperately, desperately wanted and didn't know how to do it. And that's what is so life-changing for us, that this has become our happy place. This has become something that, though I love Disney and I love everything about Disney, what I really love is what it represents in my life. It represents that when you want something and when you go for it and you set a goal, you can achieve it. And that's really what I want to say to you tonight. That's my message in this whole long, convoluted story where I'm probably talking way too much. But it is. Disney may not be your thing, but everybody has their thing. Everybody has their dream of what it is that they want, something that they want in their lives. And I'm here to tell you, if we could pull ourselves out of the mess that we were in, if I could pull myself out of the physical mess and the depression mess and all of the other things, that and we could turn our lives around, and we can be at Disney for the third time in a year. And I'm bringing my daughter back in February for her mom-daughter trip, her 5th grade mom-daughter trip, because this is where she wants to come. I asked her when I brought Emma on her mom-daughter trip, she wanted to go to Universal, and that was like the first thing for me. It was amazing because, again, that was the first time I had totally paid it off in cash, and it was amazing, and it was such a great feeling. And she and I had a blast at Universal. She's a big Harry Potter fan. Those of you who haven't followed along long enough to see her whole Harry Potter bat mitzvah this summer, but Madeline picked Disney, and I think part of it is, she loves Disney, but I also think that she doesn't understand it, but the feeling that we get that when we're here is so magical, because it was something that I made a decision, that my husband made a decision, that we were going to turn our lives around, and now we're able to do this and enjoy it and stay here and not even not flinch. Obviously we have to make decisions, and we give up other things. You always give up, you give up different things, you make decisions, but that we're able to do that we're able to do it because I made a decision, because I said, I'm tired of the way life is, and I'm really ready to change, and I'm really ready to make a difference for my family. And so my message to you tonight, as the first night of Hanukkah is about when we light the candles of Hanukkah, whether you're Jewish or not Jewish. When we light the candles of Hanukkah, we are bringing in the light of God into the world. We are bringing in, kindness and beauty and peace and all good things. That's what we're bringing in when we're lighting the lights of Hanukkah and the miracle of Hanukkah. And that's what I'm trying to teach my children here tonight. As we lit the candles for Hanukkah sitting in our room here, they didn't get the power of it, but to me, it brought tears to my eyes, because that's what this is to me, right? We are here, and I told my kids, we're here on a mission to spread pixie dust. For those of you who aren't Disney people, pixie dust is just doing nice things for people, and we brought all kinds of stuff. We brought ears to give out to kids who don't have ears. We brought little bracelets to give out to kids just to make them smile. We order pins. The pin trading here is huge, and I bought an extra 100 pins on eBay just to give out. We have ours, and then my kids are like, wow, all these extra pins. I was like, these aren't for us. We're just going to give kids pins who don't have pins, who might want one, standing in line, whatever it is. That's what this trip is about. And that's what, for us, I don't care whether my kids get tired and cranky and snarky and whatever, because they're going to do that. They're kids. They're 12, 10, and 9. They're going to get tired and cranky and snarky and have rough times. But to me, even tonight, when they were tired and cranky and snarky, I looked at them and I just had to smile, because I'm like, we are here. We are here back at Disney, where we're going to have so much fun and do all the things that we want to do, but we're here because I worked really, really hard to change my life and to change our family, and my husband has worked really hard. The two of us together have made a decision to work really hard and to make a change. And so whatever it is that you're dreaming of, I'm here to tell you it's possible, even if you feel like you're in a terrible place right now and, rock bottom, because that's where we were. We were rock bottom. It was really bad. And, even if that's where you are, I'm telling you, if you're rock bottom, something's going to throw you a rope. Reach for that rope, because that's what I did. That rope was thrown to me, and the gift was given to me to start with my physical health, and that was my rope that pulled us up. And it's not that some days we don't slip back down. Everybody has those days. We all have those days. We all have those weeks. We all have those times. But that rope is always there for you. So grab it and grab tight and ask somebody to help pull you out, because that's what I did. When I decided on February 26, 2016, that I was going to change my life, I didn't do it on my own. I grabbed that rope, the rope that had been thrown out to me by my amazing, awesome, wonderful health coach, Miriam Stobetsky. She had thrown me a rope. She had actually thrown me that rope in January, and I had let it swing, and I had ignored it, and I had tossed it around in my head. I had thought about grabbing it, and it was that day that I grabbed it, and I said, I'm done. So grab that rope. If you need a rope and you need me to throw you a rope, I'm throwing you a rope right now. I'm done. Build the life that you want, because I'm telling you, you can. We all can. There is so much to be done in this world. There is so much goodness, and we all deserve it, and we can all have it. So I'm wishing everyone who is celebrating a very happy Hanukkah. Those of you who are celebrating Christmas, I'll be on before Christmas. But if I don't see you, if you don't catch my lives tomorrow, I'm wishing you a very Merry Christmas, happy holiday season, and make these holidays the time that you grab that rope and let's pull out of that hole, whatever hole you're in, no matter how deep it is. It might be a really shallow hole, whatever it is. And if you're not in a hole, throw the rope to somebody else and help them get out, because too many people are. Have a great night. Now that my luggage, my food, our cooler was just delivered to our room, I'm going to go and pack our cooler so I can go to bed, because we are going to be up and running early tomorrow. Have a great night, and I will see you guys later. Bye. You're welcome, Gerald. Have a good night.